Something bit me. Oh my gosh. Ow, ow. I am getting eaten alive here. This Alabama bugs. Oh, anyway. Hello, my spooky friends. Yeah, I'm so sorry I didn't do any videos last week. Just no, it's insanity. Me and this guy, Scully, we've been through it. But I missed talking to y'all. So we are going to jump right into some true ghost stories and try to get our mind off of all the craziness in the world. And we're going to start with a really crazy ghost story that you sent me. This one comes from Janine, and she says, when I had my first baby, a ghost came through the kitchen window. Outside was the front lawn. Couldn't wake my husband. Okay, first of all, you just had a baby and you got a ghost coming through the front lawn. I can't. I can't with that. But she says the whole room was energized. I found out later from my neighbor that a woman died in my apartment. The situation was a mom died from her daughter, like, in her, multiple times, and she passed away on the front lawn. My mom married, years later, the cop that took the daughter to the funny farm. There's nothing really funny about that farm, but I know what you're saying. So, wow, that is insane. Scully, what do you think about that? Um, yeah, the ghost flying into the window. So, like, I guess it was the mom maybe checking because she passed away at the hands of her own daughter. Like, I don't know. Was she checking on you? I don't know what was going on there. But that is insane, crazy, and I'm still getting bitten by something. I don't see anything. Yeah. So what do you think about that? And isn't it crazy how life comes full circle? You know, she ends up marrying the cop that was involved in that situation years later. I see this kind of stuff all the time. It's kind of like the whole world. We really are connected, aren't we? Now, the next story comes from Maria, and she is we were talking about, are people haunted or houses haunted? How does that kind of go? And she says, I already knew I had a haunting in my home. It actually followed me throughout my life. Anyway, I've got a lot of stories, and Maria, we want to hear them. One involved red liquid running down the walls. Ooh, uh, what kind of liquid? Yeah, that's weird. I'd love to know more about that. But the one with the washing machine goes as follows. I'm sitting in my bedroom with my dog watching TV. I'm assuming you are watching TV, Maria, and not the dog, although sometimes my dog watches TV, so I don't really know. I had a huge pile of laundry on top of the washer that I was going to wash later. This is an early 2000s top loading washer. In order to start it, you had to turn the knob, then pull out. I know what you're saying. It kind of goes like this. The load of laundry was blocking this knob. So I'm sitting in the room watching TV with my dog when I feel the vibration of my washer. Since I knew I hadn't started the washing machine, I simply thought it was a passing train or something. Then later on, I felt it again. So I go to check, and in my disbelief, it was sure enough the washing machine, and it was on. I had to use both arms to move the pile of clothes in order to push the knob and to turn it off. As I walked back to my room, it turned on again. Oh wow. So I turned it off again. This happened 3 more times. When I would go sit back down to watch TV, it would turn back on. I finally just unplugged it. One of my many stories I have, but they're true. I have frightening stories. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I live alone except for my dog. Well, I want to tell you something. I want to hear all of your stories, and the scarier, the better. Like, yeah, that really is disturbing, though, about the washing machine on one hand. And then on the other hand, I'm like, but are they helping you out by washing the clothes? The whole point was you stick them in there and then they wash the clothes for you. I'm just saying, if it was me, I would have to play with it. I have to put the clothes in there and not turn it on and just start walking back to my chair and say, okay, are you going to do my laundry for me? Because that would be super cool. I don't know. My washing machine story, as you know, that might be what prompted this story, is they would interrupt my wash cycle and stop it. So I couldn't get my laundry done, which was very annoying. So I would love it if a ghost would actually help do a cycle. And what the heck is it with these ghosts and washing machines? I mean, I don't know why they find them fascinating, but hey, if you're doing my laundry, we're good. This next one is from Paula Jackson. In regards to the nurse getting poked in the back, I had a similar experience once. I was a single mom staying in a bed and breakfast with my kids. We were all asleep when I was woken up by a poke in the middle of my lower back. I thought it was one of my kids, but when I looked over at them, they were fast asleep. I finally got enough courage to turn on the light and found nothing. I left the light on the whole rest of the night. I can imagine so. When I mentioned it to our host, he got a funny look on his face and he said he had heard that a couple of times before from that particular room. Interesting. Yeah, so that room, I guess, has a pokey ghost. I wonder why. I wonder if there was a story and, like, was it a brand new house that he had bought that he didn't know anything about that he used as an Airbnb, or did it have a history? Because I want to know, you know, who the Pokey Ghost is, and is that a selling point? Because if I have an Airbnb, and I think I would want to especially rent it out during spooky season and say, okay, if you stay in this room, you might get poked. There's a Pokey Ghost in here because, like, legit, some people would want to experience that. I'm not one of them. Only because I don't want to be messed with when I'm asleep. If I'm asleep, I'm asleep. Leave me alone. Don't be poking at me. My rest is precious, but hey, it could be a moneymaker. I'm just saying. Okay, this story is from Daniel Rose. Hello, Daniel. I have a crazy story for you. I was at work at a military base cleaning a building and I saw a ghost watching TV. It was a man, and I looked back again and he was gone. You can share this story if you want. So, Daniel, was he like a military man, or was he like just a civilian sitting there watching TV? And what was he watching? Because I want to know. Like, what do ghosts watch? Is it a ghost TV, or is it like, was it an older show, or are they interested in what we watch, today? We've talked about so many times what ghosts do in the afterlife, and they seem to be, ow, that was my foot. They seem to be doing all kind of things in the afterlife. I hope this is not one. I hope in the afterlife I'm not clumsy, because I have already, like, injured my elbow today. It's been a bad day. Okay, lot of hurts and boo boos today. Um, I hope in the afterlife I am very graceful. Okay, y'all. Some of y'all can feel my pain. Now, this isn't a ghost story, but I did want to share it with you. It is from Jonathan Lowe, and he said, "We in Asia burn paper money called Hell Note for the afterlife." Okay, so is it like real money that you spend, or is it like fake money for the afterlife? Because I mean, I don't want to be burning my 20s. I don't like dollars, maybe. I mean, how much money do I have to burn? I think it's very interesting, though, that the different cultures and what they believe. Because, we've said that we've seen ATM ghosts, we've seen ghosts doing all kind of stuff. So, my question, I think in one of my videos, and probably what you're responding to, is, do we need money in the afterlife, right? So yeah, I don't know. Do we need to be burning hell notes? And that is that like real money? If you see this, Jonathan, please let me know, because I is that what we call burning money? Money to burn? Is that where that comes from? If somebody knows, please tell me. Now here is a medical ghost story. This is by Katina. The nursing home my mom has worked in on and off since it opened in the early 1990s is haunted. Not too long ago, she heard a blood curdling scream come from the Alzheimer's unit, and it was not a resident. This has also happened to several other people that work there. My mom started as a nurse's aide, but has been an LPN for about 20 or so years. There are lots of other stories that I will have her type up and send me to post here or send to you. There have been ghosts seen and heard pretty much since the building opened its doors. Well, I do not doubt that a bit, Katina. Yeah, a blood curdling scream. That is blood curdling. It's very scary, and it probably is very scary for the older people there. A lot of things happen in facilities like that, and I think it's easier to see them in a long term care facility rather than a hospital. Although they show up in hospitals a lot, mostly because of the home atmosphere. A lot of people spend their last years in that facility as their home, and so they tend to linger, especially if they were happy there. And in spite of what you might think, a lot of people really are. So they have memories and they linger, and sometimes they show out. So yeah, send me those stories. I'd love to hear them. And that is all the time I have right now. I want to get this video out, catch up. I do have some of your letters, and I'm going to be sharing some other scary stories from some spooky places. Again, if you have any ideas of things you want to see during spooky season, let me know down in the comments. Hope you have a great week. Stay cool out there. Enjoy the last little bit of summer we have, but whatever you do, just stay spooky. Bye bye.